Hi, I'm Callie.
And I'm Sarah, and we're
The Two Wits. So, season 1 of Buffy is mostly about taking high school, normal, average situations and turning them into supernatural twists.
Not supernatural, though, even though Callie likes to think so.
I would love that. I would love it so much.
Yeah, so what did they go through for the first season? They had mom trade places with the daughter, being jealous of her youth.
A teacher literally preying on young virgin boys.
So I actually really do like Out of Sight, Out of Mind. I like the idea, I think that's really awesome because, high school can feel like that, where if you're not paid attention to, that you just sort of disappear and you're, lost in the abyss somewhere. And I really like how creepy it was because there was, no one there for you to be like, no, don't do that, you're evil. It was just, a floating, X-Acto knife, and it was creepy. And I like the end when it was, a cliffhanger, where it was, she was out of school.
He does that a lot.
For the first season.
In this first season, where, because obviously you didn't know where, everything was going to go later on.
Yeah.
But I love how in the first season, here's some eggs, they might come back. You know they won't. Yeah. Here's this special invisible kids school. And that's great. I never address that.
I don't really like it with the other episodes. I like it with the invisible school because I feel like it's sort of like the initiative, where for the first three seasons.
I was just thinking. I was like, it might not.
That's because we both have the same mind. Because you don't know the initiative's there. And, the invisible school, it's entirely possible that that exists, but it's just not existing in Buffy.
So, I would say my favorite would probably be Nightmares. I really like the whole, what they're all afraid of, and it was funny, but not in a mocking it sort of way, like how he did the teacher's head. It was just actually funny, and I really liked Buffy's fears of being turned into a vampire. I never really thought about that until that episode, that Buffy would be afraid of that, but obviously that is a fear because she's a slayer, and that would be the worst thing, is not just getting killed and being turned into a vampire.
Oh, that would seem weird that that's your fear, because for turning into a vampire, you have control over it. Because, when Darla was siring Angel, she had to talk him into it, and you have to drink their blood.
Like she says in the first one, it's a whole sucking thing.
Yeah, so that'd be weird that she's maybe she meant she's afraid of what she'll do or how she'll react in the face of something like that. Because I mean, if she was put in that situation, they were offering to turn her into a vampire. Yeah. Would she take it or would she just die?
Potentially, someone might I don't really know how that could happen, but they never really addressed it, but. They could drink her blood until she passes out, and then is still alive, and then, rip blood in her mouth. My favorite line from season 1 of Buffy would be from Prophecy Girl, where Buffy says to Giles, Giles, I'm a 16-year-old girl, I don't want to die. Because it's really sad, and I think that was, the first time where her acting abilities really came through. That whole scene, she's not just being kind of ditzy and then super fighter girl, she's actually showing a lot of emotion there, and it was just really sad, and always makes me teary-eyed when she starts ranting and going through different stages of anger and denial, and then just finally was well, I'm just gonna quit.
You see her really act like a 16-year-old girl, not a Slayer, and it's really sad. You're used to Buffy being Slayer.
Especially because, and I mean, that had to have, taken out not how many shots to time it perfectly, because right when she goes, I don't want to die, a tear rolls down, and I was that's just tear.
My favorite line, my favorite, funny line, I'm going to cheat and say two. My favorite, funny line was when, Willow and Vanderbilt are, almost killed by the vampires, and then they're she's I need to sit down, and Buffy's you are sitting down. She's oh, good for me, because that just shows Willow, and I love Willow, and what the hell is going on with you? And then my next favorite is I love when Giles during the pact was saying that testosterone is the great equalizer and it turns all men into morons.
I like that line
Because that's just awesome. And that's very true. And like Buffy's like, no, something paranormal is happening.
So we are the two wits, and here endeth the lesson.
Like that.
Like that.